Be triple shot then? So we can use even more arrows. Okay, if I can sneak up and stab you.
So, Sunfall rests upon a ruin of the old ones. The place is more ancient than I knew.
Huh, I guess technically I'm not... I'm visible, so I can't strike her that way? It's too bad. I just used 3 arrows then. It's fine. Don't let him sneak away. Anybody else want to walk through there? But you.
Got him!
Ooh, I think they're behind that shelf. Ooh, ice arrows, you bastard. I need you to come out. Now he comes out. That's great. That's great.
In what should have been a cave of wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
That'll do. All right, what do we got here? Not much to scan. I miss a box somewhere. Yeah. Not a box, but a...
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Alrighty, what do we got?
Welcome to Hades.
Ah,
Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe
so he
protocol.
was...
The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a
It would be
subordinate
Travis.
function
It
only
seemed like a
purpose
bit of
which
a-
is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia 200 years from now and this new biosphere you're growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos. Spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a pharaoh titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
All the holograms remind you of Death Stranding. Yeah. Noise complaints. Color me confounded, Lizzie. Bashcore. Anyone who says the old TT codes to Bashcore is straight up lying. You know it. Old Trav don't have no truck, no commercial razzle dazzle, no Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter Citrum runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds. Hand to God, I swear my mama's grave. She was so religious. Nah, that ain't no Bashcore blast in the Hades lab, shaking the walls, ratting folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music, 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese grindcore, some Swedish cannibal themed stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen. Or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Nice. Ain't no Bashcore you'll see. Oh, hear rather. In the screech that rends the air and feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor and walls, ceiling swallowing you up. Like you was Jonah strapped to the gullet of a gothic deathfish. Hallelujah! Ask those requests to turn it down. Nope, can't do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal. Might as well give up the stimulants, chocolate malt, and industrial accident vids. Last I heard, we were supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an Extinction Protocol without death metal to inspire me? Nah, I don't think so. Stay cool, Trav. So, did Travis screw something up when he was, or did he do too good a job? Tate here just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority. That ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time. What is? Before this, every usurpation protocol design failed its simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard and degraded Gaia's core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheels so Hades could take control, but by breaking her finger, sometimes her arms too, so that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business. So I had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft and Gaia only pretends to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of terraforming systems and reverse operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing re-reversing processes, and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky, I swear. Ain't nothing guy wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Interesting. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so not really describing so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are plenty strong. Guess it's time to sleep. In bed. I'll be back tomorrow. Alligators. Interesting. So maybe Hades and Gaia are kind of in conflict now. Something went wrong and Hades did not want to, sounded like they were sort of wrestling for control. And if he screwed up his coding. Let's see. From Samina, who I think was in charge of the archive, to Travis, who's in charge of Hades. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo archive submission. Very long number. Your 666 submission in just 5 days. And ooh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings re inappropriate materials, you choose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 accounts. One, for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, hereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I'll have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of making a millipede. It's like their version of the human centipede. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved, extreme perhaps, but art. 2, for clarifying a concept that has long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself. Definition of obscenity. You have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied in the Judge Potter's famous utterance, "I know it when I see it, thank you." Now I can apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I've directed Apollo staff to similarly reject all of your future submissions, sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest time you would have spent preparing for the submissions. Oh, I don't know, your assigned work. We have world to save after all, or the rest of us do anyway. Oh, Travis. Feel like, I have screwed things up.
Looks like the only way onwards.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem, to say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Really is a sort of a crazy sci-fi story hidden behind all this, isn't there? It's kind of neat. Let's see. FZ Chambers. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. They are a revelation, astonishing. I don't know what you had given Farzenith and trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. A single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECMO resolved, the nutrition delivery resolved, hormonal stability resolved, 12 other risk areas resolved. Farzenith, we've heard that a couple times. I wonder if that was some sort of, I don't know what it is. But I know there's been a few mentions of getting tech from them. Or information. Before I examine these chambers, I consider the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of FZ's technology is at this level, well, a human colony. Oh. Maybe FZ was tech going to be used on the colony ship. A human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours, then get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. Interesting. They would make sense or use tech. One generational ship. Let's see. Cradle Servitor Persona. Development of the artificial persona for the Cradle Servitors, Nurturer, Disciplinarian, Healer, continue at a good pace. We are targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. Stimulus-driven switching a persona, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and the healer persona. We've also attached the reports from an instance where a servitor running the mother persona intervened on disciplinarian servitor's behavior. Interesting. Parental argument, if you will, amusing on the first glance perhaps, but deeply concerning. Interesting. I've attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings in just data corrupted. All right, one. Let's see. Luthia 01 was successful, sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang province could be detected. Pingback from crucial systems is good. For our maiden voids, it's a success. Regarding my disputes with the betas over zygote selection, of course I understand we are limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in future humans. We can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle populations. Donick, additionally, personally overseeing completion of the Uthia 02 site inside Mount Namuli. I will formulate, propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. They're actually getting it done.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted Alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
Check all the corners.
Looks like it used to hold something. Some component that got removed.
What's
would benefit from antilopine morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet...
And yet, I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
Wow.
You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm thinking about this spot is there's a lot of lore crammed into one location. I guess they really couldn't give it to you earlier, otherwise they kind of spoil the mystery of the place. But yeah, it really slows down here, doesn't it?
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
Let's see. Find the entrance. Not this door. So what is Hades hunting for Gaia's kill switch? Want in this room? I'm the worst about like not getting close enough to objectives, like figure out what I need to do. It's like, how do I get in this door? Oh, I actually gotta get close enough to pry it open. Always get tripped up by things like that. I kind of want this core. Let's see, Artemis status. It's coming along, Liz, I promise. Positive about it if those words can still mean anything. I had my sleeves rolled up, negotiating with frozen zoos for their samples. So many species trapped in a ghoulish hologramic dioramas suspended in what's if more than 14,000 when extinct between 2000 and 2043. Wow. We started mapping out primary succession, selecting the pioneering organisms for balanced and sustainable biosphere, microorganisms, insects, rabbits, hawks, foxes, wolves. Thousands more will have to wait their turn until our new generation can be entrusted with the duty of restoring them. So they can return to a world that this time will understand the concept of conservation before it's too late. There are already too late, so we lost a whole collection of team in a storm breaking through in Myanmar. Samples were lost, well, irreplaceable. Thank you, Liz. The circle of life will bend, not break. Earth was a lifeless rock before, someday it will be again. But not now, not like this. Not on our watch. Odyssey has failed. Some terrible news, I'm afraid. Far Zenith has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure as the drive spun up to depart the solar system. The ship, its crew, all cargo of zygote seeds, its alpha build of Apollo were all lost. Ew. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for continuation of the human species and earthly life. We must succeed. So I guess Far Zenith was and Odyssey was kind of a backup. Those antimatter reactors, they're just not,
The Alpha Registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother.
Ooh, okay.
Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
Eclipse.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
What was that? The guy? Oh.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child. My entire life, I've always known one thing with prophetic certainty. That I was destined for glory as a great champion of the sun. Even when Jiran was murdered, even when Meridian fell, I never doubted my destiny. Until you came along. When I heard that you had survived, a doubt took root in my mind. As sure as the sun rises and falls each day, those I am bade to kill die.